All right, good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day today. Market's a little mixed today. Now, before I get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical setups. All right, with that, anyone who doesn't know and watch the show, we are going to go over the SPY initially. We are going to go over the marijuana sector, specifically APHA, and why I think it could be a potential buy at this point. And then I'll give you three stocks that I think are poised to move tomorrow. All right, with that, let's check out the SPY. All right, so as you know, yesterday we made that 52-week high in the SPY. Did not like the way it closed, made that high, and then closed on the lower end of that range. And then I said, watch how we gap. And then if you saw today, we was a very, very choppy day. Couldn't get any footing anywhere. A lot of the stocks on my list, I got chopped up a little bit. I tried to enter some trades, only to get stopped out multiple times, thinking it was going lower, and then it would bounce back, and then stocks that went long, and then it wouldn't go higher. So it was a really choppy market. So again, going in for tomorrow, let's see how we gap. Now, again, if we start taking out not only today's low but yesterday's low going into tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit of a concern. We are going into that long weekend, and then who knows what happens going into next week. But I do have to say I do subscribe to the S&P Oscillator. It's a service that I subscribe to. Very expensive service, and they come out with a number every night to let me know if the market's overbought or oversold. Now it's saying a number that is right there on the cusp of being overbought. Okay, so that means, guys, there's a high probability that this market is going to have a nice pullback. So I want you guys to be ready to exit some of your trades that you've made some money in, and hopefully we can raise some cash. So when that sell-off does occur, we do get some better pricing down below right here at this midpoint Bollinger Band or this 10 SMA. And worst case scenario, obviously this 50-day moving average, which has been a lot of really nice support for us in the past. Okay, so that is the SPY. All right, with that, let's go check out APHA, APHA. Obviously, it had a horrible day today, but it was on such an amazing run. Today it was down 35.8%. Made that high of $32. Was actually trading higher in the pre-market today, but then everything just fell off. But look where we're at right now. We're right here at this 10-day moving average. We did close below, couldn't hold that 10-day moving average. I did initially take a spot, excuse me 1 second. So I did initially take a position right here at this 10 SMA at 1750, 1765 right there. And then it did bounce, and I sold my shares, and then I rebought them at $18 when it came back down to this area, but only to get stopped out after that bounce. So again, I think right now we're at this really nice inflection point in APHA, where see if we can hold today's low tomorrow. Watch for that 30-minute time frame. If we can hold that first 30-minute time frame and get a little bit of a footing, a little bit of a base behind us, I think this can start bouncing a little bit going into tomorrow. So now we're at a level that makes sense, right? We didn't want to buy up here at 32. Obviously, this was a lot of short covering, buyers stepping in, not knowing what they were getting into. Clearly above this upper Bollinger Band, and it doesn't surprise me. We sold off. In fact, I sold a core position up here in that $29, $30 range, only to buy them back down here. Made a little bit of a bounce profit on it, and then bought it back, and then got stopped out. So I'm actually neutral at this point. I am going to wait to see. I'm going to wait to see how we stabilize going forward. We may want to test this midpoint Bollinger Band, but I still think that this whole sector, especially APHA and Tilray merger, is going to be really good. And then for a longer term trade, this is a great entry for that. Okay, that is APHA. All right, let's go into the three stocks that I think that look pretty good going into tomorrow. First one's going to be RXT. RXT had a nice day today. It was up 94 cents. So if you check out RXT, we're not too far above. We're not too far from the 52-week high. We're above this 10-day moving average. Again, we're up in this value area right here. So there's a high probability now that we are going to be in this, what I call a trending stock. And what I mean by that is a trending stocks by my definition anyway, is when we stay in between that 10 SMA and that upper Bollinger Band, and we just bounce up in here. And this is what, to me, it seems like it's starting to want to do that. So again, if you want to get in this name, try to get long above today's high, and then clearly use this 10 SMA going forward right down here at 22.38 as your stop price. Okay, that is RXT. Take a small position, buy on pullbacks, and then use this 10 SMA going forward as your stop price. Next stock on the list that looks really good going into tomorrow is PETS, another one that had a really good day today. Clearly, it made that high of $57 back on the 27th of January. Since then, it's pulled back, touched this 200-day moving average. Now that 50 is above that 200, right? Now we're getting, again, above this 10-day moving average right here. So we're going to have that really nice setup where that 10 is above the 50 and that 50 is above that 200. So again, be a buyer above today's high in PETS, and then clearly use this 200-day moving average right down here of 33.29, but then use, excuse me, my voice, I'm losing my voice, that 50-day moving average going forward, okay? All right, so next stock on the list that looks good going into tomorrow, but this one's going to be a short, in my opinion, is going to be PLUG. All right, guys, if you take a look at PLUG, it's had that massive run this whole year, and now it looks like it's starting to turn a little bit. We made this high of 75.49. We made this high up here. Now we're making lower highs going forward. So again, we're going to use this 10 SMA as our stop price if you want to get short below yesterday's low of 62.42, and then clearly use that 10 SMA right here at 65.57 as your cover right over here, okay? That is PLUG. Sell it below yesterday's low, 62.69, and then use a cover price or a stop price of 65.57. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. My name is Eric. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll make sure to get right back to you with any questions you may have. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be listening to the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. All right, guys, have a great night. We will see you tomorrow after the close. And remember, trade smart and be safe.